Bryon Powell of I Run Far here with Bryon Powell. No. One moment, please. Mauri Pagliacci of I Run Far here with Bryon Powell, a recent finisher of the Hardrock 100. Congratulations, Bryon.
Thank you, Mauri.
That was a pretty well run, right?
Yeah, I think so.
A couple of hours around the mountains. How do you feel?
Well, it's 2 days after the finish, so I feel pretty good.
All right. You've been actually running like around the town, like from the bar to the Cafe Mobius and to your house. So you look like pretty well. What?
Yeah. Amazingly, I think I prepared myself, my muscles, well enough that I didn't feel any of the descents until the final descent, 33,000 feet of descending into the race, and yeah, muscularly, like even during the race or right after the race, could pick my feet up to change shoes or do whatever. So that went well.
Yeah, but you didn't change shoes. You actually ran with a super technical shoe for mountain running,
or super technical shoe for road running.
I
ran in the New Balance 1400 V3. It's their road racing flat at 600 or 6 ounces, 200 grams.
Yeah.
And I put the front half of a Ultra Stone Guard, which Ultra uses for their Superior. You just put that under the sock liner, and turns a 6 ounce road shoe into a 6.5 ounce trail ready.
Yeah.
I mean,
so like you kill all the myths about the road running shoe on a trail. Like 100 miler, technical 100 miler. All right. And how did it turn out for you? Like, you've been training hard, you've been working a lot, you've been traveling here and there. And how do you manage to like a regular, like a normal person, to end up this long thing?
I don't know. It was definitely a challenge. Like, in the week before the race, I was working as much as I could. I mean, you were at Mountain Marathon, and I was uploading videos to the middle of the night, like 16-hour days, 12-hour days, and yeah, it was really hard. I managed to put a little time aside on Saturday before the race and on Thursday before the race, but I still only got 2 hours of sleep the night before the race.
Yeah, which I think that was not like for the work.
Well, it's because I didn't do really what I wanted to for personal preparation. And in other races like Western States 2 years ago, it was just little things, like just having some music I wanted to listen to on my iPod, or some podcasts. And it seems silly, but like it's something that I didn't make the time for 2 years ago, and it was partly just putting the foot in the ground and drawing a line and saying I'm going to make the time for myself, and it did cut into sleep. But I also went to bed at midnight and couldn't sleep till 2:30 because I was thinking about work and my crew and running and running. I mean, like, probably something I should have done earlier, and something I will do the next time I run a focus race, whatever distance that is really visualize the race a lot more. Because I hadn't done that. I'd sort of look at times for sort of a conservative pace around the mountains. But I hadn't really visualized what that would look like, what my nutrition would look like, how my effort would be. And it's not like hokey, it's just like that's what started popping into my mind, and I think it was useful.
Yeah, but so you actually didn't have like a plan of what to eat and what to, like, I don't know, where to change socks, because you didn't change shoes. So like,
I had an idea on food. Like I started out on Saturday with 2 huge duffel bags and was just gonna go to the aid stations and grab what I wanted, and then like that Saturday night, after I'd packed everything, I was like, or as I was packing everything, I'm like, I'm just gonna make one little plastic baggie for each aid station. I'm gonna have the other stuff if I want it. But then just basically have my crew hand me this bag, take either all the food or the food I want, and there's a pair of socks or a long sleeve shirt for going into the night, Uray or grouse gulch if it got dark early.
Anyway, I heard Joe Grant, your pacer, talking about how focused you were on the downhills, and how you managed to remember where did you put your things, like on 80 miles in the race, like where you put your things, like buff here, gel here, whatever. And how do you kind of concentrate for that? It's super hard.
I've never had that before. That was an amazing gift. I mean, like, first I had like those 2 hours of sleep, and like the middle of the night, I never had a time where I felt tired in the slightest. I never had a time where my concentration waned or where it was lower. I mean, I don't know if when people say they're in the zone or in flow, it's usually discussing like some incredible performance or something where everything is going right. And those last 40 miles, it wasn't all going right, but the focus was there. Like, not once during the race did I have a doubt I was going to finish, and that's not normal for 100. I mean, even when I've run good hundreds, there's times where you're like, oh, this is tough. I don't know if I'm going to make it, or it crosses your mind, and even if you stop thinking about it quickly, it didn't even come into my mind, which was really cool.
But do you think that was like because you had like a super dream about this race?
I think it's because I committed to it for a long time. I mean, basically since I got in. I wasn't training hard, and I really didn't get to train until February or March, but I was thinking about it, and it's something I really wanted to accomplish. And my goal through training wasn't to train myself to run my fastest possible Hardrock. My goal was to train myself to have the best chances of finishing.
I'm not like bonking or whatever. Like,
well, I did. I bonked for 40 miles, but like, to make sure my quads were good. I have had chronic lower leg issues since 2002, like 13 years now. It's just, I mean, it's tight calves, it's Achilles, it's plantar fasciitis. It comes and goes, but like, I was strengthening them in February and March. I was doing rehab, and I think in making those investments, it's like putting deposits in the bank. And there was just the money was rolling out that day, and
everything turned out well finally. Well, in the like
in terms of, I could not have asked for better focus or better. I mean, I was focused. Like, about 40 in the race. You were with me. You were pacing me then. I was going up Camp Bird Road above Governor's, and it got cold, and I don't think I was eating enough when I had just picked up my poles for that section, and I got to a really
I was
low.
not with you. Vince was with me.
Oh, Vince was with me. It's been a long week. I was with Vince Hyde and was going up the mountain and just went to a low spot. It was the first time in the race, amazingly, that I went to a low spot. I had a couple of little rough patches, but they were like fixing the stomach, and that was totally fine. But yeah, from mile 60 on, or a little after 60, I couldn't really eat. Never puked, but just couldn't eat more than maybe 10 or 1,000 calories, maybe 1,200 the rest of the race. But so it was really low, but I kept moving, and I couldn't climb very fast, and especially at high elevation, which I could earlier in the day. It wasn't pure elevation, but I couldn't climb fast. I could go to 120, 125 beats per minute, and I could just peg it there, and that was it. And that was fat burning entirely, probably. But on the downhill,
you felt great on the downhill, right?
I mean, I wasn't flying because I couldn't get my heart rate that high up, but I could run and be nimble and focus and
not falling down.
I mean, like,
you had a couple of falls, but
it slips. I mean, I never. I mean, and I knew what going into the race with these New Balance 1400s. They're road racers. They have no traction at all, and they're not supposed to. And about 8 or 9 days before the race, I went out with Megan, and all through training, I'd worn heavier shoes than normal because I'd normally run in these shoes. I'd worn heavier lug shoes and really trained specifically to get used to running in those couple extra ounces. And we got back from Western States, and the snow had melted even more than we expected. And I'm like, all right, we're going up to the top from KT aid station to Putnam and back. I'm going to throw on the 1400s and see what it was. And we encountered what was one of the wettest stretches on the course with really slick vegetation, and 2 or 3 times I slipped out, but I kind of knew that was the worst that I was going to get. And I was like, I'm going to start the race and go to Cunningham in them. And again, test. And it's 9.2 miles, and I know at least the Cunningham descent well enough that I was like, I'm not really risking a lot, but I'll know if this is not going to work. So I could try, and it would have taken them a minute. My feet would have been great, and I would have just changed shoes, gone. But it was worth risking, and I did fall 5 or 6 times, like 2 sections, falling 2 or 3 times, like just boom, 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 like total slide out. Never knocked the wind out of me, never hurt anything. It was like slide tackling in soccer or something, or sliding into a base in baseball.
Just glasses sliding. And what would you say, like, to a person who's training for Hardrock, or like not training because you don't get to train until you get in, but like has a dream for Hardrock, and I don't know, then it looks like the guy who finished in last, happens to things like the guy who finished in last in 47, 59, 59. To that kind of person, like to those guys who just come here and enjoy the mountains, what is the best of Hardrock?
The best of Hardrock?
Yeah.
Oh, everything.
Yeah, everything. I know.
I mean,
but it's like, in all its best.
I mean, it's I talked a little bit before the race, and I mean, it's always been the community, because the first time I've run it, and I've loved that, and just being out here and being a part of it, that's awesome. But the mountains are just so incredibly gorgeous, and it's a gift the whole way, whether it's the big scale of the mountains, like the wildflowers. I was looking at wildflowers. Like, I'm descending, and like it's rocky, rooty terrain, and I'm just like, wow. There's like sunflowers with blue columbine, with orange columbine, with daisies, I mean, it's just these amazing fields of flowers and just open vistas, and it's just, that's incredible. But the challenge is a gift as well, because it's harder than I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of go, I say that kind of knowing that it was going to be harder than I thought. You just can't conceive, unless you're somebody who's done really tough stuff, like, I mean, I'm not talking, I've done Wasatch and the Bear and Leadville and Western States, and they're all huge challenges, but
not like this.
I couldn't, and I was conscious of that before the race. Like, I was willing to say I was physically fit enough to do the race, but am I mentally ready? And it's the mentally ready part that I didn't have 2 years ago at Western States. I just wasn't mentally in the right place, and you have to just
you have to be full focus with this.
And that's really true with any 100, I think. Like, I mean, I guess some people who do a ton and just kind of run through them and have the experience. Okay, maybe not, but if it's something you don't do, I mean, more than twice a year, that you really have to just want to, deep down inside to do it.
It looks like if you are not for hard, you can like go through 100 milers to any 100 milers, like go through them and just go through pain or whatever. But it looks like in Hardrock, it's not the same. I don't know. I've been watching faces since Killian till the last guy, so it's like it's different. Something you need to have something different to go to Hardrock.
I mean, like it's not spiritual or anything, like, and I'm not new agey, like, but there's like has to be something in your being, your soul, something like that deep down there that it means a ton to you. That and I love that, like having that purpose. Like it gave me purpose beforehand, and then having the purpose beforehand gave me purpose during the race. Like it carried forward.
And how you feel of having shared the race with Megan? Like you haven't done that like a lot. It's like
we go to a lot of races that we run casually together. Like and so it's
like a big deal
when we're focusing on. The last time we did that was Marathon des Sables in 2009.
Like 6 years ago. Yes.
It was actually when we just shortly after we started dating, and we were living across the country, and and it was basically sort of a test run for us, kind of. Actually decided to quit my job and sell my house on the plane ride. Or I asked her on the way back. That's beside the point. But,
it was a huge change. It was
being here with her training and like having that same goal was special. It was hard being on the course and not knowing where she was, but I was never doubting that she would get around. And we were really wanted each other just to have the best possible race, and that's not going to happen at Hardrock, but that's what you want. Like neither of us did. Like, but I think we both had races we were proud of, and that meant a lot. And I know Megan was a little sad that she wasn't going to be able to see me finish my first Hardrock, like, because it is so monumental, and like, I'm okay with that. Like,
it doesn't matter actually.
But it was awesome to be here to see her finish. We were actually over at grab dinner because we thought we had a long ways to go, and just we got a text, and we actually probably could have made everything work, but like we just ditched dinner, and
flashing.
A friend picked it up. Thank you, Mike Place. And we just ran over here basically.
Again running.
Actually, I think I got in a car, but I ran. It was.
And I have a question from a Twitter follower you have. His name is Alex Warner, and he's been asking like, what was your favorite Taylor Swift song
during the race?
Hardrock.
I didn't listen to a single song during the race.
Oh no, he will be so disappointed about it.
Yeah, and probably Rob Craw more than him. I listened to some podcasts, and it's funny. I was really enjoying just being in the environment. But a couple podcasts early on, I put it on. I found in training I could put a podcast on a big climb, and it would help me stay smooth and stay calm. Like sometimes you put on music, you get pumped up, and I didn't want to. Like it was more not a depressive thing, just an even thing. I kind of like listen to like Freakonomics or marketplace money, and it's just like taking a different look at life, basically.
Yeah.
And they're just, I find them entertaining, but they're also entertaining in a not exciting kind of way.
Like, listen to this Metallica song to go faster.
No. So I'm glad I had that. And one fun thing was I had my phone there. Because it's easier. I have a little shuffle, but it's easier just to select different stuff on that and to have music as well. But it allowed me to take pictures. I took more than 700 pictures in the course, and a lot of them are going to be crap. But
it's okay. But at least you took the time to enjoy it. Like, because when you stop to take pictures, you actually enjoy the landscape. So
and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to focus on my fun. Like, I wanted to finish, and I wanted to focus on fun. And I had a smile. I mean, pretty much a smile on my face the whole way. I mean, even like, I remember seeing, I might not have been talking, like coming out of the KT8 station, there's a little dip, you cross the stream, and then you climb 700, 800, 900 feet up a pretty steep forested area. And Dave James and Amy French, were reporting from Iron Far higher up, and then we're running down in the thunderstorm, and they like to see Joe and like saying hi to Joe Grant, my pacer at the time, and they didn't quite recognize me at first, and then they saw me and like say something, and I'm just like, thumbs up, because I'm going 125 beats per minute. For me, this is like slow walking. I mean, like, if I was fresh in town. And it's just like,
it was not.
I couldn't. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't going to talk. I wasn't talking to Joe.
It was not a talking.
When we're going down, chatter away. Like, when the effort's a little less, but
how's the crew for? I know I've been seeing like reporting on whatever. I've been seeing like the crew for Killian and for Frosty is like super. It's like a super rush, and they all go like fast and trying to keep them up. And how's the crew for a regular person? For an over 24 hours, almost 30 hours.
Hardrock's different in that there's a ton of other people around, both aid station and other crew, and it's so spread out that other people help out. But my sister Gretchen, she was my crew, and she was my crew. She's helped crew my first Western States, and then at Wasatch and Leadville.
She pretty much knows.
She knows, and it was different. It's been a while. I think it had been since 2009 that she last crewed me. But she had enough knowledge to get by, and I did simplify things before the race. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but again, there was like a bag for each aid station, and she just pick it out, and I'd take it, and give me a bottle, like a full bottle. Like, it was pretty easy and quick. I don't think there's. I looked forward to seeing the final statistics on what the aid station time I had was, and even when things got rough, I'm sure I would be surprised if I'm not well under an hour total aid station time.
That would be great.
I mean, even you, Ray, like, was the first time I sat all race. I went and used the toilet and sat down, and I changed my socks there. I kept the same shoes; they were wet, but had a long road climb, and it felt great. And they changed my water bottle, got nighttime clothes out, had 600 calories of Boggs trail butter, just like pack it open, little water, swapped out food, and just was on my way in 5 minutes. And it was like, did everything. And you don't have to, I mean, it never felt rushed. I was just
moving,
like
just keeping forward.
So, I mean, I think efficiency, I think people can take too much time in aid station. It's so easy, and I've probably done in the past. But, it's an easy way to just, even if you're not racing, I don't feel like I was racing out there in a competing kind of sense. But you're just giving up time for free.
Of course.
And I mean, it's cliche, and the original quote might come from David Horde, and it might come before him. It's kind of where I got it from. But, relentless forward progress. It's true. Like, I never gave up time without a purpose out there. And I'm very happy about that. There were times when I mile 20, my quads and legs were just feeling a little tired. There's a lot of running in Pole Creek. And I got to a deeper water crossing and just sat down for 20 seconds.
Whatever.
And perfect in the stream, and I got up. Legs felt great. And I did that at the last water crossing. 2.5 miles to go. It's my first time my quads, I could feel them really at all. Where I was at final descent and got to the water crossing, and just kind of feels good. Ducked down, like got my legs submersed, and then I could run the rest of the way in.
That's great.
And I mean, it was really hard, and I don't know if Joe Grant would ever share it, but there was a lot of stopping. There was a lot of stopping and sitting on the big climbs late in the race. I would make as far as an effort as I could walking, and then I'd stop, and I'd say, Joe, 30 seconds. And I would stop, and it would be 30 seconds. My heart rate would go down, and I would get up. And usually 5 seconds before he would, I mean, I wouldn't count. I'd just get up and go when my heart rate was back under control, and I felt like I could make another steady push.
Yeah.
And because it just felt like I wasn't, if I were to try to keep my heart rate lower, like it would just be such an inefficient, it would be like, when I could walk, I mean, my muscles were great.
Yeah, but it was just like the altitude and everything.
So just like do what felt like a natural, slow walk, but a good, So just trying to make that progress all day. And if I was going to stop for anything, it was going to be bag off, jacket out, jacket on, bag on, keep
and
going.
move.
I mean, just.
So what would be your your main tips for a person who is coming for the first time for Hardrock? Like, what would
be psyched for it?
Yeah.
Keep a positive attitude. Keep moving forward.
Yeah.
I mean, just keep moving forward. I mean, I had a great time through. I wasn't concentrating on it, but I was really fast through URA and through Governors. And then the last 40 or so miles, the tank was empty, and I ran 31:30.
Yeah.
Like,
it is like
trudging along uphill, like, but kept moving. Like, why not? Like,
who cares? At some point,
if I were to have video of that, it looked back. I don't even need that. Like, it was slow. I was apologizing to my, not a whiny way. Like, it never, like, just, damn. But if you just keep moving,
like whatever, like. 1 meter per hour.
Do you have to sit in the aid station and eat soup and a grilled cheese and a whatever? No. Get a grilled cheese and get a cup of soup and move. Walk down the course.
Why not?
Yeah. Chances are, if you're in an aid station, you gotta go uphill from there. Just walk and eat. I mean, take care of your problems, but and having fun is such a key. Like keeping it light, keeping it happy. I mean, I was very specific with the people who were pacing me and crewing me that I wanted to just enjoy. And to focus on the positives. And it's the exact opposite of what happened in 2013 at Western States. And
I was there.
And
I remember that.
And I was an equally good fitness there, but just didn't keep it positive. And having that, I mean, I wasn't faking it out there, but every photo I think I've seen of myself, I'm smiling in. And I've noticed it so much over the last year in particular, and looking retrospectively back, the people who've had great races following the front of the pack for I Run Far are people who are laughing. And I mean, if it's Luis Alberto giving you shit at Transvolcania or Rory, or people who are just, Zach Miller laughing it up at Lake Sonoma 2 years ago, like
the same Killian here, like taking pictures up at
I think it's the mental state leading the physical state rather than the other way around. It's easier to keep when things are going well, but just keeping that positive. And that's why I had the music. I mean, I had a super bonky run here in training a month ago, and had a couple gels and threw on some music and sort of singing along and pumping my fist, not quite dancing, but just getting into it, like and it just turned my attitude around, and you can go into it with a good attitude, and you can turn it around, because I kept it as positive as I've ever done a race, but little dark things creep into your mind. I mean, you're human, like,
of course. It happens to everyone.
And there were just like shitty thoughts that crossed my mind, and I found myself dwelling on them for 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, 90 seconds, and I'm like, no, I'm out of this. No, I cannot go there. And there were like just work, shitty life stuff, whatever. Like, it wasn't physical stuff, but I'm sure it would work the same with physical. Like,
physical,
okay, your blisters hurt, or your quads are hurt, and that might affect how you can run, but don't let it mean you can't finish or keep moving forward or whatever. So I don't know. I think that was my key. That was a key takeaway. But just move forward, be happy.
And enjoy.
Trust me, there's stuff I need to figure out. I mean, there's lessons I learned. Probably should share those.
At some point, I think in a couple of weeks you'll
I mean,
couple
some of them
days.
I've realized were, I mean, I was eating 300 or 400 calories of like sugar-based foods early, and it worked great for so long, and it was good. And like, I would have mixed in a little more real food early, and I would have really forced myself to eat more real food later, like when I couldn't tolerate, and that's fine. Like, it's fine. I wasn't puking, but I really
my food were better.
I wasn't getting it done with. I could do one an hour. I could force myself a Snickers bar. A goo or an untapped maple syrup, which I was like, I love the flavor. I just didn't want to like. I'd eat it and then like I don't want to eat anything else for another half hour. It wasn't the taste of anything. I could tolerate everything, but carrying a rain jacket. Oh. Fuck! I was stupid for not carrying a rain jacket.
You didn't carry one. Man.
No, and I kept. It was never super stormy, but I had like a wind shell the whole race, and it was just enough. But I would not push that barrier again.
No.
And again, places where I thought I needed one pair of gloves, I would have brought two thin. I mean, I had like a thin running pair of gloves, and I would have brought a second thin pair of running gloves just to throw on if I needed it. And I would have had a pair of rain pants, super light rain pants, but in different sections. Like, don't fuck with that.
Yeah. Like, take the things.
And guys, like things came and went fast enough that I was okay, but there were
anything happens, you would have been like complicated. Like in a complicated situation.
Probably you can work your way out of it, but I would rather not. I would rather not risk, but I'd rather invest a few extra ounces in kit to keep safe there. Same with just I didn't use poles in training. I used them like 3 times. For probably like a total of 9,000 or 10,000 feet of climbing, and I paced them through the race, like on and off a little bit, to make sure I didn't get too sore, and that was never an issue. But I stopped eating as much, I stopped drinking as much, and it was just I'm not used to it. And the same with like I don't really like running with packs a whole lot, just because I like to. I run short enough, and I'm comfortable running 2, 3, 4 hours on a nice day without anything more than like a little handheld bottle or nothing. So I just wasn't very efficient
with the poles.
Well, the poles or the pack, like just I'd used it enough in the last couple weeks to get stuff out of the front. Like I knew where I carried my water bottle and where I had my phone and where I had my gels. But then my extra stuff, like my extra food, was here, and I just couldn't efficiently get to it. And then just taking it on and off to get to a jacket. And maybe I would just figured out like if it's on or off again, I just tied it around my waist. I didn't even think of that till like right now. Dumbass, like that would have worked.
I mean, it's just kind of brain dead at that moment.
And I don't regret that, but just like use your gear, and dial it in. And I was even thinking pretty close to the race that I was going to use a water bottle pack most of the race. But I'm glad I trained with a heavy pack, and I used a Ultimate Direction Scott Jurek vest, and I trained with it mostly because I just wanted to train with weight. To carry carry more gear than I was going to in the race, and just feel strong enough.
Feel strong, I understand.
So
and all these like let's call it newbie mistakes or whatever. It's like taking the poles and not being trained with it. Did it bring any sore, like different sore, like?
Nothing bad. No, I mean like a couple of times I got little hot spots on my hands, but there was never blisters. I could sort of change them around, like, and I never really. My left shoulder's a little more sore than normal, but just like, nothing horrible. No, it wasn't anything like that. Yeah,
that's cool. So then at the finish line, we had you enjoyed it. It was super cool. Then AJW prepared all this bar down there. You had champagne on the street, so you had been going to jail because of that, because you were drinking on the streets.
Whoa.
Hey, policeman. But you had a toast for your friend.
My friend Christophe Rochette, a French trail journalist, passed away in June. Not long after I'd stopped drinking. He was a real jovial fellow. He liked a good drink, and I just remember he sort of coordinated the media and the international elite teams at Les Templiers last year. And I just remember just having champagne with him after the race, and some of the athletes kind of joking around, like taking a sip off the bottle, and like, no, you drink from a champagne glass. I mean, we had plastic glasses because it was a big party at like the finish line, but just like, I don't know. I would have had a toast to him the day I found out. Actually, the really bad run I had here in training was like I found out that morning when I woke up that he had passed away the day before. and just I would have had a toast to him like right away, but I just sort of carried that along as that was like a goal.
Yeah, of course.
And I wasn't going to drink until I kissed the Hardrock.
Yeah.
So I couldn't toast Christophe until
I kissed. So it was a pretty
and trying to keep things positive, and I never tried this before, and I don't know if I'll do it again, but from each aid station, I sort of wrote down and printed out and brought with me a list of like one thing to think about, like the flowers or the meadows or the ridges or being high or whatever, and one person, and he was the penultimate. No, he was the penultimate section.
Yeah.
The last section was me.
Yeah.
But it was I definitely carried him, in my mind during the day.
That's great. That's great.
It was special.
It was great. Yeah. Okay, I pretty much don't have any more questions.
Okay.
But I guess congratulations again.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you again here next year at some point, or facing me probably.
You're gonna get your qualifier first, Buckle.
I'll do that. I'll get that one at some point.
The bear, pound a palm. Come on, buddy, sign up for something.
I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
Because you will see my name in this lottery next year. And probably until I get in again.
Yeah.
I'm not a hard rocker yet.
You're not a hard rocker yet. I learned that this weekend.
Yeah. I want to see the course in the other direction. I tried to train for this one non-competitively, to finish. Like, that was the goal.
Yeah.
And I knew things I could probably do better to run faster. Like, I would train a whole lot more running.
Yeah.
And the other direction, there's even more running in this direction. So I'd be excited. And that probably suits me better, like real steep climbs and long descents.
Yeah. Coming down from Corogers should be great.
I kind of said before the race, 30-hour pace or 30-hour fitness, 33-hour pace, and I ran it out at 31:30.
31:30, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure the fitness is there. I think
it can be like under the.
I'd like to be
the number.
I think I'll say I'd like to be under 30 hours here the next time I'm here.
Yeah,
and I think I can.
Yeah. It was close. It was like super close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it felt like it was within reach, even like fairly late in the race. But yeah, I'll be back.
Okay, of course.
Thank you, Matty.
Thanks so much for everything, and enjoy your Hardrock.
I will. Oh, whoa!
I cannot.
No, you can't. Just don't kiss it.
Yeah.